Today on Judge Faith, this landlord says her tenant's just hammering out excuses.
Derek had agreed to rent it as is, knowing that there would be construction.
Drilling was going on nonstop.
But the tenant claims his landlord is lewd and lying.
I just jumped out of the shower and I thought it was Derek, and she was there. So she
was inside of the house?
She was inside the house.
Okay.
And later, this bike owner is revved up about a motorcycle that won't run.
What he's telling me about is not the starter problem, it's something else problem.
I'm done with you. I'm done working on your motorcycle. You can take it somewhere else.
What evidence do you have to present to me today that it is his fault that your bike isn't running after doing this work?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Landlord Pamela Kelly says her tenant rented a house that was discounted due to renovation, but then skipped out on the lease payments and left the place trashed. She's suing for $6,201 for unpaid rent and damages. Defendant Derek Rudd claims the rental was lacking and his complaints went unanswered. He is countersuing for $4,780 for his security deposit and relocation expenses. Derek is accompanied in court today by his partner, Benjamin Farman.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Judge, this case is Kelly versus Rudd.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, Ms. Kelly, you say your former tenant owes you for unpaid rent and damages to your property in breach of contract, and you're suing him for $6,201. Mr. Rudd, you claim the house was unlivable, which forced you to move out early so you don't owe, and you're countersuing for rental charges, a new security deposit, and having to look for a new home, and your countersuit is for $4,780. Are you Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Okay, and who are you?
Benjamin Farman.
Are you the witness?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you have a seat for a second? Ms. Kelly, how long have you been a real estate broker?
I've been a real estate broker in San Francisco for 7 years.
Okay, and you rented a property to the defendant?
I did.
Tell me about how that happened.
He contacted me via email, and we met at the property the next day. He liked the property.
Tell me about the property. Is it a house or
It's a
apartment?
single-family home in the North Beach area of San Francisco, which is very rare to have a single-family home in that area. We had advertised the property as being discounted because we had construction going on underneath. We were adding a bedroom. And we reduced the rate accordingly. And Derek had agreed to rent it as is, knowing that there would be construction going on from 8 to 5 every day. And he agreed to meet me the next day at the property with the full amount of the money for the lease.
How much was the security deposit?
$2,500.
And how long was the lease for? Do you have a copy of it, by the way?
I do.
May I see it?
Yes.
It was a short-term lease, right?
It was a short-term lease.
Okay, so it was to?
June 15th.
June 15th, so okay, to June 15th. And what was the monthly rent?
The monthly rent was $4,100.
$4,100. Okay, did the defendant pay the April rent?
He did eventually pay it, yes.
Okay, did he pay May rent?
He did not.
You moved out early?
Yes.
What did you like about the property when you saw the ad? What made you call her up and say, I'm interested in seeing this place?
One, of course, is that it was a single family home, and I'm in online advertising, and I don't like neighbors, and I work at home a lot, so that was a huge plus. But I also lived with my partner, and it had 2-car parking stated in the ad, as well as a washer and dryer, which is really key for me.
It was 1-car parking.
The ad says 2-car park.
Do you have a copy of the ad?
I do.
May I see it, please?
It was on multiple sites.
Okay, go ahead.
And
It does say 2-car parking, by the way. So you chose this place.
Yes.
What day did you move in?
on April 5th, and it was presented as one way, and
What was presented as one way?
the apartment.
Okay, so but you saw the apartment before you signed the
Correct.
lease and chose to move in.
Correct.
Okay.
And so my father takes care of my financial orders, and he was going to wire me the money that morning.
What do you mean by your dad takes care of your financial?
My father's an accountant and my financial advisor,
Okay.
and tries to control my spending because
He controls your spending?
I kind of
Oh,
I
all
kind of-
right. You
No,
seem
I-
like you're old enough to control your own spending, but that's none of my business.
No, he just takes care of so I don't buy things that I shouldn't, so I can save.
You're 43 years old. You're a grown man.
I just am very spontaneous, and
Okay.
so, he just wants to make sure that I keep things, in order and protect my retirement, and
All
so
right.
he basically,
right.
so it's a system that works.
It works
well.
for the
It
two
works
of you.
for
All
us,
right. All right.
Yeah.
So you don't have the money when you first move in, but he puts the money into your account a few days later.
Correct.
How much did you pay for security deposit?
$2,500.
The money was short by $707, and he acknowledged that it was confirmed in the email that he understood that he was short, and that his security deposit would now be $1,793 because he was short. And
May
that
I
he
say
did.
something?
he
May I
did
see that email,
acknowledge it.
please? Mr. Rudd, I want to talk about, because here's what happened. I do have this lease, so you're under a lease. It's
Right.
presumed if you move out before the end of the
Right.
lease that you've breached the lease, but you say you had valid reasons to move out
Yes.
early. I want you to tell me about those reasons.
There on Monday, the contractors came. She said that there was construction being done and that previous tenants had moved out because they had a baby, but it was minimal and it was bearable. And I took her word for it.
You said there was construction, and you were living there at the time too, right?
Right, yes.
Okay, stand up and come over to the lectern. What was the issue with construction?
She said that the construction was very minimal. It was not as noisy.
And what was it really noisy?
It
What was the
really,
issue?
really noisy. I could not hear the TV.
Drilling was going on nonstop.
Okay, during what hours? During all day, during business hours, sort
Between
of 9
9 and 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So,
What were the other problems? So there's construction. What else do you say happened?
number two, the washer wasn't working for at least 10 days.
Was the washer replaced?
It was replaced within 2 weeks or so.
Okay, and you never put in writing to her that the washer machine wasn't working, et cetera, right?
No, but
Okay,
they replaced
what's the next issue? Parking.
The major one was heat. There was no heat.
There was no heat in the entire home?
No. When I met
Is
with
that
her-
true?
Not only was there heat, but there were 2 heaters.
So you're saying the heat worked, you're saying it didn't. Did you ever put in writing to her that the heat wasn't working?
Didn't put in writing outside of the text,
And you don't have the text messages?
I don't. I mean, I wish she would have them.
Was the heat finally fixed?
Within 2 weeks or so.
Okay,
The
and you say
owner-
there was
the
an
owner
incident.
came.
Hold on one second. You say there was an incident where the plaintiff showed up unannounced.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
This was before, when they were trying to fix the heat, the owner actually came of the house who apologized for the heat not working. Then Miss Kelly was supposed to meet Derek. She came to the property while I was taking a shower. I didn't expect her to be there, so I just jumped out of the shower and I thought it was Derek. I glanced out and she was there. So she
was
just,
inside of the
She was
house?
inside the house.
Okay.
Coming up on Judge Faith, is the landlord too picky or was the tenant a slob?
What is this a photo of?
It just shows the condition. It shows how dirty it was. That's just ketchup splattered.
Okay, and it take 10 minutes to clean that. Next picture.
And later, a motorcycle repair skids out of control.
And you came in complaining about how much money it was gonna cost.
Did you have a specific discussion to fix the starter?
Not the starter problem, it's something else problem.
Landlord Pamela Kelly claims her tenant didn't pay the rent and left her rental unit a mess. Defendant Derek Rudd says the house didn't have heat and the plaintiff didn't fix things.
You walked out of the shower.
And I thought Derek was home, but it was Miss Kelly. So I think because she heard me stomping, she walked away.
And you have a different story about what happened?
I do.
What happened that day?
The contractor told me that he wasn't there because the car wasn't in the driveway. And then I walked up the stairs and I noticed somebody walking in the house. And I'm like, who is this? Because all I knew that Derek was staying at the house. And the front door was open. And by that time, Derek had come and he had already come in the driveway. So he was pulling in.
So you never walked into the house after you saw, okay. So here's your issue. I reviewed this lease, and the lease requires you, because these kinds of disputes often come up with someone breaches the lease, then they turn around and say, well, oh, I had all these issues, all these problems, they weren't addressed, they weren't taken care of.
Right.
That's why it's standard in a lease like this, and that provision is in this
Right.
lease, that if you have any issues about maintenance, about repairs, that you put them in writing. That way you can come into court and say, yes, I did have these issues, and I put them in writing during the time I was living there, and I gave her an opportunity to correct these problems. Let's see what the pictures are. Do we have those on the plasma screen? Let's pull them up. What's the issue with this
Well, it's just
particular
shows
photo?
the buildup debris throughout the home, the fuzz balls, and because he said
I don't see anything in this photo. I see a wood
Well, it's
floor.
along the baseboard. You can see. Well, it's probably not the best picture, but.
Well, I mean,
the
you have to bring in a
housekeeper-
picture that shows damages, and I
Well,
don't
there's
see
more.
anything
There's more.
there. Okay, so let's go to the
There's
next
more.
photo. What is this a photo of?
It just shows the condition. It shows how dirty it was. If you keep scrolling, it gets worse.
Okay, let's see.
That's just ketchup splattered.
Okay, and it take 10 minutes to clean that. Next picture. Are those the only pictures you have to
No,
show
there's several
damages?
pictures. There's several pictures.
I do see that there was some dirt and some wear and tear on the apartment, but most of these are not outside of the spectrum of normal wear and tear. What's your counterclaim for?
My counterclaim is there is no heat in the bedroom. The bedroom thermostat controlled the living room heat out of one vent, and that the vent from the living room would push air into
We've
the
been through
bedroom.
that. Your counterclaim is dismissed. 0 on your counterclaim. I do find that the defendant breached the lease, and he did not have the legal right to do so. You didn't put anything about any issues that you were having in the house in writing, and if you did, you don't have proof of that in court. My judgment is for the plaintiff. Verdict for the plaintiff, $5,000. Have a good day, folks.
Plaintiff Surin Dorje is suing for $2,425 for motorcycle repairs that left his bike broken. Defendant Brian Ledbetter says he completed the repairs and owes nothing.
Suring Dorje?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Brian Ledbetter, for $2,425. You want to be reimbursed for the cost of repairs you paid to the defendant to repair your motorcycle?
Yes.
Tell me what happened here. What kind of motorcycle do you have?
It's a chopper, actually.
Okay, what year?
1999.
It's actually
All right.
94.
It's a 1994?
It's
Okay.
not what he says, but it has a DMV record saying that it has a 1999.
Let's just start with this. What's the difference between a chopper and a motorcycle? Who wants to answer that?
It's a custom bike,
Yes.
It's a custom bike?
100% custom.
Oh, okay. So a chopper is, what do? Put different parts together to make a bike?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All
Actually,
right.
yes.
So where did you get the bike from?
It's my coworker. He left, or he actually stored in my garage for 5 years.
In your garage?
Yes, yeah.
Where do you live?
I'm from Minnesota, Minneapolis.
Okay, so it was in your garage for 4 or 5 years and no one was driving it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And
What kind of impact would that have on a motorcycle that hasn't been driven in 4 or 5 years in Minnesota?
it starts, but the only problem is that has a flat tire, that's it.
Okay.
But I need to, before I drive, I need to have some professional checkup, do some, what do we call it, like tuning up and stuff like
And
that.
is that how you came to hire the defendant to start doing work for you?
Actually, yes, I found it through the internet. I tried looking for something like reliable.
So is that what you do for a living? Do you just work on motorcycles or
Yeah,
all
motorcycles,
cars?
four-wheelers, jet skis, snowmobiles.
Okay, and do you have a shop
Yep.
specifically in Minnesota for that?
Yep.
Why, do a lot of people ride motorcycles in Minnesota? It gets so cold there. Is
Yeah.
it something that people, you like year-round?
Oh, yeah.
Do they year-round? Okay.
Well, not year-round, but
We do
Probably
have a
6
short
months.
period.
Okay, but that's your specialty. How long have you been doing that kind of work?
been doing it since 2004. I've owned the shop since 2010.
Okay, all right. So you hire him, and what do you talk to him about?
Do the whole tune up, like what we call it, like spark plug check, carburetor.
Check it out.
Check it out.
And get it in running order?
Yes.
Is that what he hired you to do?
Yeah, he wanted me to go through, change all the fluids, check out the front tire that was flat, and then he wanted me to polish all the chrome on it and make it look pretty.
I
So
agree.
did you give him an estimate as to how much all of that work would be?
Yes.
What was that estimate?
Estimate was $1,076.28,
That
which
was
is
the original
actually,
bill, not the estimate.
the estimate was $1,300, and he came in complaining about how much money it was going to cost and told me he was only going to pay X amount of dollars.
That's not right.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the bike's a beauty, but it's broken.
So you take it out, you're trying to drive it, and you say 1 or 2 miles, and
Not before the mile or 2 miles, like around his shop.
not even a mile.
Not even a mile.
I'm done with you. I'm done working on your motorcycle. You can take it somewhere
No,
else.
that's wrong, Your Honor.
Plaintiff Suring Dorje says he hired the defendant to fix his motorcycle, but it still doesn't run. He's suing for the cost of repairs. Defendant Brian Ledbetter says the work is complete and he owes nothing.
Let me see pictures of the bike. Let me see this. Nice, it looks nice. Did you shine the chrome up like that? All right.
That's actually before the. That's before.
You're just not giving him credit
after.
for anything, are you?
Yeah, that's not after the. It's a before.
Okay, so the first time you take the bike, you
Yes.
pay him, you say a certain amount of money.
Yes.
And you go to pick up how long was the bike in his shop?
I was there
Okay.
for
That-
like 6 weeks due to the fact that we had to order parts for it, and it's a custom chopper, so it took a while to get the parts.
Okay,
That-
so you go and pick it up,
Yes.
and what are the issues? Because I understand from your complaint you had to take it back to him a second time.
Yes.
So you go pick the bike up, you pay the invoice, what happens?
So what happened is that, he told me that, your bike is running condition, no problem. So I try for like maybe a block or around his shop.
Not even a mile?
Not even a mile. Around
Didn't
his
even
shop.
make it a mile?
Not even a mile. Around his shop, that's it.
Okay. Okay, so he comes to pick up the bike from you. He's going to do what on the bike?
Fix the bike.
The second time? Just
Yes.
fix it?
The starter
Fix the
went out.
bike. Fix the bike, whatever the issues were
Did you
going
have a
through.
specific discussion to fix the starter?
Not the starter problem. It's something else problem.
So what you put the starter in,
So
and
what happened is the starter needed to get replaced. Fired up, ran great, did it a couple more times. On the back side of the clutch, there's a gear that catches from the starter. It snapped the gear clean off because of the
While it was in
brand
his
new
shop.
starter.
okay, why?
Brand new starter, weak, it's been sitting for 5 years. It's one of those deals where you can't tell if it's gonna break or not.
Right.
And he came into my shop and said, I'm paying you $800 and I want my bike back
I did
tomorrow.
not came to
Hold
his
on a
shop.
second.
So after going back and forth with him and just had enough, that's where the receipt for the $800 came in.
Okay.
He paid $800 because he refused to pay anymore. I said, I'm done with you. I'm done working on your motorcycle. You can take it somewhere
No,
else.
that's wrong, Your Honor.
How are you going to prove to me that it is his fault that your bike is not running? He's saying he did this work, and this is the work that he paid for. There's no warranty on these invoices that you would leave and that your bike would be running for a certain amount of time. He didn't guarantee how long your bike will be running, how long you will be able to drive it. In fact, I actually believe him when he said another part on it broke. It had been sitting up for 5 years in Minnesota. It's been sitting in a garage for 5 years. So what evidence do you have to present to me today that it is his fault that your bike isn't running after doing this work?
And now, Judge Faith rules.
The problem over here is not the starter, Your Honor. It's about the part which is broken when the bike is in his hand or when the bike is in his shop.
Let me just stop you there. You have a bike, a motorcycle that is either 1994, 1999, 15, 20 years old.
Yes.
And it is a chopper, as
Yes.
you describe it, which means there are various parts that have been taken to put this motorcycle together. It hasn't been driven for 4 to 5 years in Minnesota. And I'm telling you, based on what I see here, you paid him for the work that he did. So in order for you to get this bike running, I don't know how much it's going to cost you. It may cost you another $2,000 or $3,000.
But he
But you
gave you the
want me
estimate.
to order him to refund you for the work that he did, and I'm not going to do that, sir.
But-
It's your burden of proof, and you haven't proven to me that he needs to refund you any money. Judgment in this
here-
case is for the defendant. We're done.
Wait here a minute, sir.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.